Least to most petty zodiac signs. We all have our moments of pettiness, whether it's giving the silent treatment, throwing a little shade, or holding on to something way longer than we should. But let's be real. Some zodiac signs have a PhD in petty, while others couldn't care less about keeping score. From the signs who shrug things off to the ones who will remember what you said in 2013 and bring it up again, here's the ranking of zodiac signs from least to most petty. Number 12, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is far too busy chasing adventures to waste energy on being petty. They're optimistic, free-spirited, and usually brush off drama with a laugh and a shrug. If you wrong them, they'd rather move on to something exciting than plot revenge. Sag doesn't have time for grudges. They value freedom and fun over clinging to the past. Their blunt honesty might sting sometimes, but it comes from truth, not pettiness. If you're looking for a sign that lets things go easily, Sagittarius is at the top of that list. Number 11, Aquarius. Aquarius is more detached than petty. They simply don't care enough to waste time on small grievances. If you cross them, they'll likely intellectualize it, chalk it up to human behavior, and move on. That said, they can be a little passive-aggressive when they feel misunderstood. Aquarius prefers to keep their energy focused on bigger ideas, not petty squabbles. Their aloof nature makes them hard to offend deeply. But if they do decide to be petty, it'll come out in subtle, quirky ways that leave you scratching your head. Number 10, Pisces. Pisces isn't naturally petty, but they can slip into it when their feelings are hurt. Their pettiness shows up as emotional withdrawal or guilt-tripping rather than outright sass. They're sensitive souls who don't always know how to deal with conflict directly, so they may resort to passive-aggressive behavior when they feel slighted. Pisces would rather be compassionate than petty, but their emotions sometimes get the better of them. They won't hold a grudge forever, though. Once they process their feelings, they're quick to forgive. Still, expect a few teary-eyed sighs or dramatic pauses along the way. Number 9, Libra. Libras are usually too focused on keeping the peace to indulge in pettiness. They'd rather smooth things over than make a scene. However, when pushed, their petty side shows up in subtle digs or strategic silence. Libras don't like confrontation, but they also don't like being wronged. Their version of pettiness is quiet but effective. They'll withdraw their charm, and suddenly the room feels colder. Still, they don't dwell for long. Once balance is restored, they're back to their usual harmonious selves. Petty isn't their default, but it's definitely in their back pocket. Number 8, Capricorn. Capricorns aren't typically petty for the sake of it, but they do have a long memory. If you embarrass them, underestimate them, or waste their time, they'll tuck that away and quietly remind you later. Their pettiness is strategic. It's less about emotional reactions and more about making a point. Capricorns believe in accountability, and sometimes their way of teaching you a lesson can come off as petty. They're not dramatic about it, but they'll never forget how you treated them. Expect subtle clapbacks rather than explosive tantrums. Number 7, Taurus. Taurus doesn't usually seek out drama, but when they feel disrespected, their stubborn streak can turn downright petty. They'll dig in their heels, refuse to budge, and remind you of your mistakes over and over. Taurus doesn't like being wronged, and they're not quick to let it go. Their pettiness usually comes out as passive resistance. They won't fight loudly, but they'll drag their feet just enough to make their point. They're steady and loyal, but cross them, and their quiet, drawn-out grudge can feel petty in the most frustrating way. Number 6, Leo. Leos love attention, and their petty side is often tied to pride. If they feel overlooked or disrespected, they won't hesitate to make a dramatic exit or throw shade to remind everyone who the star of the show really is. Their pettiness is theatrical and flashy, designed to be noticed. Leos don't stew silently. They want you to know you crossed them. Still, they usually get over it once their ego is soothed. Their pettiness might sting in the moment, but it's rarely long-lasting. For Leo, it's more about the performance than the grudge. Number 5, Gemini. Geminis are clever, witty, and quick with comebacks, so their pettiness tends to come out in words. If you cross them, expect sarcastic remarks, playful shade, or a well-timed joke at your expense. Gemini doesn't usually hold grudges for long, but they do love the art of the clapback. Their pettiness is more fun than vicious. It's about winning the banter, not destroying you. Still, they know exactly how to push your buttons with a smile. With Gemini, you'll laugh at their pettiness until you realize they've roasted you harder than you thought. Number 4, Aries. Aries doesn't do subtle pettiness. They're loud, bold, and upfront about it. If you upset them, they'll make sure everyone knows. Their fiery nature means they react quickly, sometimes with explosive, petty outbursts that leave people stunned. They'll throw shade, slam doors, or start a dramatic argument, then cool down just as quickly. Aries doesn't hold grudges long, but while they're mad, they're masters of petty theatrics. They don't plan it. It just bursts out of them in the heat of the moment. Their pettiness is fiery, fast, and unforgettable. Number 3, Cancer. Cancer is surprisingly petty when their emotions are bruised. They'll retreat into their shell, throw guilt trips, or bring up old wounds just to prove their point. They're deeply sensitive and hate feeling unappreciated, so their pettiness is rooted in hurt. Unlike Aries, Cancer's petty streak lingers. They'll bring up something you did months ago as if it happened yesterday. They don't lash out as much as they simmer, but their passive-aggressive behavior can be brutal. When they feel wronged, you'll know it, because they'll make sure you feel it too. Number 2, Scorpio. Scorpio takes pettiness seriously. It's practically an art form. If you betray them or disrespect them, they won't just get even. They'll get creative. Scorpio's pettiness is sharp, calculated, and unforgettable. They don't do small, playful digs. They go for the jugular. And the best part? They'll wait as long as it takes to strike. Scorpio's memory is legendary, and they never forget a slight. Their petty streak isn't impulsive, it's strategic. If they go quiet, that's when you should worry. Their pettiness is powerful, and when it comes, you won't miss it. Number 1, Virgo. Virgo takes the crown as the pettiest sign of the Zodiac. Their critical eye and razor-sharp memory mean they'll catch every little thing you do wrong, and they'll remind you of it often. Virgos can't help but nitpick, and when they feel slighted, their pettiness can be relentless. They'll correct you, call you out, and drop subtle digs that sting just enough to make their point. Virgo doesn't explode like Aries or scheme like Scorpio. Instead, their pettiness is steady and precise. It's death by 1,000 little critiques, and they'll enjoy every second of it. Do you agree with this ranking of the Zodiac signs from least to most petty? Who do you think deserves the top spot, and who should move down the list? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to see where your sign lands in the Pettiness Olympics. And don't forget to subscribe to get all the updates.